keep saying we, and I keep thinking that it's more than me. I'm so used to saying we, but I guess it's just a me now. Until this all ends. Hopefully, it ends soon. This is FatherB, and of course, this is the Young Talk podcast. We're still going, even if it's just me doing these episodes for the time being. We'll keep pushing forward and keep doing what we can. Anyway, this week has been interesting. This entire week, I got to experience I got to experience a couple of different things, and I can't wait to go over those things with you. I finished Wizards of Waverly Place, like I said I would, and my God, I don't know. That ending, it gets me every time. Even when I know what's gonna happen, even when I know that, such and such is gonna get this in the end and all that. I'm not gonna spoil it. If you haven't seen Wizards of Waverly Place, then I'm sorry, but you didn't have a childhood. That's all I can tell you. But anyway, it's Friday. I'm feeling good. Well, it's Saturday, actually. This is the first time I'm recording on a Saturday and not a Friday. I'm trying some new things, some new techniques, mainly because I ain't got nothing else to do. So I might as well try some new stuff, see what works, see what doesn't work. Let me see what I got today as far as topics go, because I kind of I don't know. There's been a lot of different things going on. A lot of new experiences. I have a new spider. That's right. I have a new spider. I have a new buddy, a new pet. And it's only a matter of time before I decide whether or not it gets killed or not. Long story short, the other day I was in my room, just being me, doing whatever I do. And then I looked over to my window to my left, and there was this spider. And it took me a minute to figure out what was going on. I couldn't tell if it was inside the window or outside the window. And it's one of the spiders that you see that it's not super big, but it's big enough, Like, if it comes near me, then I'll worry about it. But for now, if it's like way over there, it's cool. This was one of those spiders. So luckily, it was on the outside of the window, and my window was open. I always keep my window open at this point, or at least I open it every day, because my room is small anyway. I need to get fresh air in here. So I do that, and that spider he's pretty chill so far. I say this about every spider that does this by my window, but this one's pretty chill. Like, he stays right on the corner of my window on the outside, not where the handle is, but on the other side. He stays on the outside of there. He leaves during the day and comes back by 6 p.m. every night. It's really funny to see. It's like this spider has such a routine schedule, and I have no idea where it goes during the day. Like, no clue. I wake up and it's already gone. Like, I woke up today at 10 and he was already gone. I was like, well, geez, how is it I'm lazier than a spider? Like that. I don't know. I felt some type of way about that. I'm feeling some type of way about that. Like, how is it the spider got more shit to do than me? So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about that, and I'm honestly scared because I know when the day is gonna come when I'm gonna have to kill it. Because like I said, he's never stepped into my actual window, and that's the only time spiders go from friend to foe is the minute they step into your home. All spiders, if you could chill outside my window as long as you want, but the minute you step in, you are an enemy. So hopefully he never steps in, because we have a nice little relationship. Like, the side that he sleeps on, or that his little home is on, is technically right next to my bed, but that's not the part of the window that's opened, So it's like we kind of sleep right next to each other, and it's really cool. It's really cute. So I'm hoping I don't have to kill him, Like, we're buds. Like, he comes back to my window every night. So hopefully he sees me as a nice guy. I stopped putting my water by my window because I don't want him to see that there's water on the other side and then think that there's hope, So I want him to know that there's nothing for him within this house, so that way he never walks in. And hopefully that'll be enough. But who knows? Life's short. Things happen fast. The minute he steps out of place, it's game over. And it'll be sad. I'll hold a funeral. I'll call people. I'll tell people who had no idea what's going on that my friend's dead. I won't even tell them he's a spider. I'll just say my friend's dead and then hang up and let them sit with that. So that's the biggest drama in my life right now is the spider and figuring out when he's gonna kill me. But it's all good. It's all good. Speaking of being the outside in general, I got to go outside yesterday. I say I got to go outside like they let me go outside or some, like I'm in prison or something, which we all are. But ultimately, I went outside yesterday because I finally got paid. I finally got the big bucks, minimum wage style. So now that I took my whole $5 and I went out I was gonna go buy food, but I bought toilet paper, and luckily enough, when it comes to toilet paper, you gotta go to Walgreens. That's it. Simple. You want toilet paper? Go to Walgreens. Why? Because that's where it is. It's cheap. I got toilet paper for 6 rolls of toilet paper for $7. It doesn't get any better than that. And I'm one guy. I don't need 24 rolls. I really don't need more than 3. I don't think 3 will probably last me a good 5 months. So I'm set for eternity. I'm not drinking coffee today. I'm drinking tea. And I made this tea on point because it's nice, it's sweet, it's not too hot, and that's all you can ask for. Is just a nice cup of tea. Nice cup of tea on a Saturday. Isn't, I don't know when, I keep thinking about this. I don't know when Easter is. And it's kind of a sad thing. So I guess now is a good time as any to look up Easter, because Easter is happening. It's on the 12th, which is tomorrow. So I was right. Yeah. I thought Easter was tomorrow, right? Isn't it like the first Sunday of the month, second Sunday of the month in April? I don't know why we make holiday. Just make holiday. How about this? How about you make Easter a day on a month and then we repeat? We make it annual. We just make it that one specific day always. Whether that day is on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Why does it have to be this specific Sunday? I don't know the history behind it. Oh, because of the resurrection of Jesus from the dead. Makes sense. So we have to have it on Sunday. I mean, I guess, yeah. I read the Bible, and I'm not going to share my religious beliefs with you all. But, I guess, fair enough. But why we gotta make this? Why we gotta make this holiday of all things more complicated? One that over 60% of the population probably doesn't fully understand. Just because of the fact that we're even having this conversation, and I'm asking about Easter. Kids don't care about what Easter is about. All they know is they get a bunch of candy and a basket full of more candy, and they get to look for eggs. And if you're rich, those eggs have money in it. So that's what, I don't know, Easter pisses me off of all the holidays. It's just because it's too inconsistent. It's always a second Sunday, and I never know. I never remember, and I'm past the age where I even get anything for Easter. So who fucking cares? It's just a bunny at this point. I don't understand the bunny aspect of it. I don't understand why, if it's about resurrection of Jesus, where the bunny comes in, but I'm sure there's more to that, but it's not my problem. But anyway, I got sidetracked for fucking Easter. But it's crazy outside. My mom told me not to look at the news, not to look at, any of it, because it's just all bad. And she's right. It's all bad. I legit looked on Twitter yesterday just for the fun of it. I wasn't even looking for Corona shit. I was just on Twitter, and then I was gonna search for something, and then one of the top things it said, I don't even remember let me see if I can find it, if it's still trending. But the headline caught my attention because it said Black and Latino people are more. We should stop doing drugs and alcohol and all that. I guess because we're more susceptible to the coronavirus than everyone else, than white people, according, that's the way they worded it. They said black and Latinos are more susceptible to corona than white, which it's interesting the way they word that shit. Yeah, here we go. It says U.S. Surgeon General says black and Latino Americans should step up and avoid alcohol and tobacco and drugs. And then I was like, okay, why? And then it was like the further you read into this stuff, apparently where black people and Latinos are a little bit more susceptible to the coronavirus, or I've been dying more, so it's killing more of us than white people. But that was in the East Coast too, so I don't know. I don't know. You're telling me to stop taking drugs and alcohol and whatever else. What was the third thing? Was it just two things? It doesn't even matter, to be honest. But you're telling me to stop doing all this stuff, and it was tobacco. I don't use tobacco anymore. But you're telling us to stop doing all this stuff. What about the white people? What do they get to get? Because it seems like, from when I've been outside, when I'm walking around trying to get from point A to point B, I don't know what the white people are losing. Some of them are losing homes, don't get me wrong. Some people are going through very hard times. I'm here for you. I'm sad for you. But this coronavirus is getting out of hand, is all I could say. It's starting to become a strategic plan to take people out. First, it was the old people. Now, it's the black and Latinos. What's next? The Indians? Because they'd be the medium people that we suspect to be next. Right? Yeah. But anyway, it's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous. And I don't know what's going to come next. Like, I'm afraid what I'm going to... I've been outside, let's say. I've been in quarantine personally for about 5 weeks now. And I've been outside maybe 3 times. Like, and by outside, I mean like off campus. Not like, because I still go outside to go on campus, like because I have to go get food from like our cafeteria when, I'm hungry. So, but I mean like outside, like off campus, in the public, and seeing what people are wearing these days type of environment. And it's scary. I went to Safeway in Sand City, and I was thrown off because they closed off one of their entrances, I guess, and now everybody just has to funnel in through one side of their entrance, an exit and an entrance on one side of the building. I'm like, why? Why do that? Why, if we are trying to keep less people trying to do this whole, why only make one entrance and exit? Make 2. You enter through here, you leave through there. Simple. Why? I don't understand, but they do that. And then the crazy part is, this is how I know people are getting crazy. When I walked into the entrance side of the store, she told me I had to put my bag down in Safeway. Like, I couldn't walk through Safeway with my backpack. And I was like, oh, naturally, like instinct, I was like, okay, sure, yeah, whatever. But and I was like, really? Is that where we are now? Like, people are you can't even wear your backpack in Safeway. People are taking stuff. People are stealing. It's chaos out here. Like, there are so many people wearing masks and gloves and all this otherness. There are so many. I can't look at all this stuff. It's ridiculous. It's like, it doesn't scare me, but it's like, it's not what you want to see, It's like, it's not signs of things getting better, but just things kind of, what's the word? Gestating or sitting, or marinating, It's like, this is what we're in now. We're going to be in this for a while. And it's a weird reality to get used to. Like, I know, like, starting last week or so, I watch Hulu, right? I don't have Netflix for the moment, but I have Hulu, and Hulu has commercials. And normally, I don't care about the commercials. I don't even pay attention to them, right? Because they're only 30 seconds. Rarely, I'll get like a 60-second wait time, but you know. But one day, I was sitting and I was watching My Hero Academia. I was chilling, and then it hit commercial, and then the commercial looked weird. It looked different than normal commercials because it started playing that piano music, like that somber ass piano music shit. Like when someone's dog died and they have a commercial to help you find their missing dog, or even though he's dead, and it's just trying to be extra sad. So it was one of those commercials, and I was like, please don't let this be a quarantine commercial. Please don't let this be a quarantine. And then sure enough, it was a quarantine commercial. It was the first one of many that I was gonna see, and they're so these quarantine commercials. I don't know. They're not terrible. Like they're not like bad, but they're they're just things that you don't want to see. Like I don't like commercials to begin with, but I don't mind seeing commercials. But the thing is, I don't want to see commercials about quarantine. I don't want to see commercials about this new normal or about making adjustments. Like it's honestly it's scary. That's scary. Because then it's kind of like, yep, this is the life now. It's kind of like this is how we're gonna be living, and it's ridiculous. I don't want this to become. I don't want this little new normal to be the permanent normal. It's a temporary normal. That's what we should be calling it, a temporary normal, not a new one, because no matter how long it takes for a vaccine to be made, it it doesn't it doesn't matter. Let's not get comfortable with the way things are. Not saying that we should be doing stupid shit like those spring breakers, but like we should be out doing stuff. Um or not. I'm sorry. That was terrible. That was terrible. Words. We should not be out doing stuff. Stay home. But we should be preparing for when things get back to normal, is what I'm saying. Because things will get back to how they were. We will be back outside. People will be back in classes. We'll be back at work, and we all will be complaining about people that we hate. So let's get back to that. Like, I don't care about this new normal. I care about the regular normal. I miss being angry about my normal things. But these commercials were ridiculous. Like, I wish I could pull them up. But if you have Hulu, just get Hulu, but get it for the commercials, and then just pick a show, let the show play, or you don't even have to let the show play. Just get to where the ads are, and then you'll see it. It's like if it's not the first one that popped, it's probably the second one, and it's so weird. It's so weird. It's like, or at least for me, it's weird because I'm out here by myself, so it's like the way these commercials make it. It's like they were all in this together, and we can do this if we all work hard and stay away from each other. And it's like, yeah, but then it's like I'm alone, 100%, and it's like it just reminds you how much alone you are, in your situation if you're quarantined by yourself. It's ridiculous. So I don't know. I hope these commercials go away soon. I really don't like seeing them. They kind of just make you more depressed. But like I every time I look at it, I just get a little bit more depressed. So hopefully that shit will end. Let's see. But speaking of My Hero Academia, I rewatched. They put that shit on Hulu, so I was really psyched about that because I love My Hero Academia. It's one of the very few animes that I watched or watch. And 100% watch, like focus on or whatever, or really pay attention to because it's so good. Everybody knows My Hero Academia. I don't even have to explain what it's about. It's an anime about people with superpowers or quirks or abilities, whatever word you want to put. They have superpowers at the end of the day, and it's so cool. I suggest you watch it. It's everything you want, in a superpowered anime show, and they put it on Hulu, which is dope. So, because when I first watched it, I watched it obviously illegally, through websites, and that shit's such a pain because sometimes I like watching animes in dubbed, and sometimes it's hard to find the dubbed version, or even when you find, what you think is going to be a good site, then it's all laggy and you got to wait 20 minutes to get through 5 minutes of the episode. So it's like sometimes it just makes it harder to watch the show than it's worth. But now that it's on Hulu, I was able to watch, like, I rewatched the show super fast. Like, I just finished season 3 yesterday. And I didn't start season 4 because they didn't put the dub version of season 4 on there, which is just a cheap shot in my opinion. Like, how are you gonna put season 1 through 3 dubbed and subbed, but then season 4 is just subbed? I'm just too lazy to read the subtitles. Or not even too lazy. It's just because I always play games while I watch shows. It's just it's not that I don't like just sitting there and watching it and shit, but it's just that's a lot of just sitting and staring. I like to do something, unless it's an instance where I'm smoking or eating or like I'm already preoccupied. I don't know. I feel like if you're just sitting there watching it, then it's like then you are wasting time. I don't know how playing video games or smoking makes it any less of a waste of time, but it does, in my opinion. Just because you're doing something else. But My Hero Academia is dope. And I don't like sub versions of things, so I'm gonna have to rewatch season 4 illegally online somewhere, which is fine. Because that's how I watched. I think season 4, if you have Funimation, right? Yeah, season 4 Funimation, they have like majority of season 4 on dubbed, I think. So that'll be dope. I'll just probably go back to that for a bit, and then once I get to that spot where they stop doing, the dub versions for free, then that's when I'll look for a site. But it's all good. I'm excited because usually when it comes to animes, I don't pay attention 100%, and I didn't do that with My Hero Academia. Like, at least some of the seasons I didn't fully remember. Like, I couldn't for the life of me remembered what happened in season 3, nor did I fully remember how season 4 even went down. And that happens because sometimes I skip episodes, because I forget which episode I leave off on because it's an illegal site. So you got to remember, like, you're on episode 16, and then you close the window, and then you're like, oh no, and then you got to do it. Everybody's pirated illegal movies and stuff, so you know what I'm talking about. It's a hassle, but I just didn't remember. So I started watching that this week, and I finished through season 3 this week. Or like I started watching it from season 1 on Monday, I think, or whenever it got put on there, and I just went ham. I just been watching it. Like, I legit watched nothing but after I finished Wizards of Waverly Place, it was game over, dude. Like, Wizards of Waverly Place I love, and I'll watch that shit all day. And I did, like, in order to get through it, like, I watched 10 episodes in a day so that way I could say I finished it that day. But yeah, My Hero Academia is dope too. And I like, and since they're 20 minutes, it's easy to kind of bust through an episode or two. But I also, just because I haven't been able to sleep, like, earlier this week, I was having some mad, like, some crazy insomnia. And I just couldn't sleep. So I was trying to figure out what to, I was just sitting there watching My Hero Academia. I'm trying to figure out what to do, how to help myself sleep. One episode after another. And next thing you know, I got through the sports festival arc, and I was like, well, shit, I got to go to sleep, dude. Like, I can't, it's like you get caught up because the way these episodes be ending sometimes. It's like they spend a whole episode just doing one thing that you now want to see the next part, But maybe that's just good programming. I don't know. I'll find out one day, right? But it's all good. My Hero Academia is dope. Wizards of Waverly Place was dope. I don't know what else I'm gonna watch now. I really don't. I think I have some shows in mind, but we'll see what happens. I'll find something. I was probably just gonna rewatch The Office. I need to catch up on Harley Quinn. I know that Harley Quinn show is hilarious. I know that show is super funny. I like what they're doing with that one, so I'll probably check that out. Um, let's see. I've also been playing this game called Genesis. Uh, yeah, Genesis. Genesis, it's pretty dope. I like it. It's basically, when did this game come out? It came out in like 2019 for PS4. PS4. I'm gonna just look it up really. It came out it's basically League of Legends for PS4. Yeah, it came out about a year ago. It came out for Microsoft, Xbox, and PS4, and it's basically League of Legends, essentially. It's a MOBA game, you know? You go through lanes, you pick a hero, you fight with a team of 5 versus 5 to take down the other person's thingamabob, and then it explodes and you win. There's ranks, you know? It's literally it's an exact replication of League of Legends. So if you've played League of Legends, if you've seen it, if you heard about it, picture that, but Genesis. But different hero, different players, different characters that you play as, same shit. And it's fun. I remember playing League of Legends as a kid in high school and not being very good at it. But to be fair, my laptop at the time was complete shit. I did not have a great laptop, so therefore my internet speed was super slow. My computer itself was super slow. And so I would always end up like lagging or not being able to participate, or my computer would crash, and it'd just be a really bad experience. The only way I'd actually win any game is if I'm on a team that won. And the only time I would play the game after a certain point is if a friend was playing with me, because otherwise, you know, random people won't know that you have a shit laptop, and then even then it's like, if you have a shit laptop, you shouldn't play a game that requires you to have an efficient one. So anyway, I'm glad now that I have Genesis now on PS4, and the bright side is that's not a laptop. So, and my PS4 runs games as smoothly as any other PS4. So Genesis works fine. And it turns out the game, or at least the style of these games, really isn't that tough. It's really not a tough game to figure out. I don't know why. There are esports for. I mean, I could see why, but I don't understand why. Because the games are extremely easy. I've lost 2 matches out of the 10 I've played so far. And that literally those 2 matches that we lost were only because 2 people got disconnected, and and a person got disconnected in both of those games and put us at a huge disadvantage, unfortunately. But it's a super easy game, you know? Either that, or you just gotta pick a good hero legend. You gotta pick a thing that just works well, you know? If you understand how the thing works, then it works, and you'll be fine. And you just gotta make smart choices. It's a strategy game, right? You can't just run in and do whatever you want, or you could after a certain point, but you know, you gotta take the risk smartly. So that's what I think is cool. But I'm gonna keep playing that. I'm definitely gonna keep playing that game for a long time, or for the time being, because it's a nice game to pass the time. It's a nice game to. Yeah, it's really just a nice game to pass the time, to be honest. And I can watch My Hero Academia. I can watch anything really, like without thinking about it too hard, or without thinking about the game too hard. Because that's the thing, at least for me, when it comes to playing games, you have to find the balance. You know, that nice. You can't pick a game that's too concentrated or that relies too much on your focus, as well as a show that relies too much on your focus. You know, you gotta pick. That's why I don't watch new shows and play games at the same time. Because if it's a new show, then I clearly have never seen it before. I don't know what to expect, so I gotta pay attention to it. But when it's unless it's like something like Rick and Morty, like where it's a nice little comedy show or something like that, you can just kind of, you can watch it and miss a thing or two and not really mean much. But yeah, that's where I'm at with all that. Genesis is a nice game, and I'm a beast at multitasking. Is really what I wanted to get out, in that little moment. But that's just me. Don't judge me, because I didn't ask to be judged, and this is not a place of judgment. We don't judge the whatchamacallit, the host of the talks. But I keep forgetting what I was about to talk about. That's the most annoying thing. Oh, okay. So here's some latest news. I've been waiting for when this stuff was going to start happening. Or should I give an announcement? I'll give the announcement first. Because this is kind of similar. So, funny story. I did something that I probably, I don't know. Will I regret it? Maybe. I guess we'll wait. We'll see what happens. So what I did was, I was bored one day. We all been there. It's 3 a.m. You can't sleep. There's no one around. You pull out your laptop. You type in Pornhub. And then you just make an account and you upload an episode there and and see how many views you get. So that's what I did. I randomly, one day I decided to make a Pornhub account for the podcast, and I uploaded an episode there because we made a joke, I think, on one of these episodes. Me, 6'1", and Daddy Dark, I believe we did make a joke about posting an episode onto Pornhub to see what would happen. See if you'd get any views and then all that fun stuff. And so it was quarantine one, and I was like, why not? And I did that. I'm not ashamed of it. Will I regret it anytime soon? I don't know. Will I regret it anytime in the future? I don't know. But it's up there, and I'm not taking it down. So I put one of our episodes on Pornhub, the third episode more specifically, because that's the only one where we have all three of us 100% on the episode, and Daddy Dark doesn't leave midway, and the audio isn't as terrible as the first two. But anyway, that was the only one that's what's crazy. Episode 3 is like the only episode we have where it's as normal as it gets for the show. Because before that, the Daddy Dark had to leave for a stupid volleyball. And then before that, the pilot episode, the audio was just a mess. And then after that, the freaking coronavirus hit. And then you got my takeover. And now we got this one again where it's just me, So it kind of sucks because we made this podcast and then all this went down. But it's all good, because we're still here. We're still going to keep going. And here's the thing. I'm going to talk shit for a minute. Because he can't defend himself here. I don't want to say any names, Daddy Dark, but he's such a useless individual. Like, here's the thing. I wasn't supposed to be recording this episode alone. Daddy Dark was supposed to be on this episode. We were playing a game together on PlayStation, right? And I asked him, I was like, hey, I'm going to record another episode of the podcast. Are you down to be on it? Just hit me up on Discord. He was like, yeah, I just need a schedule. I said Friday. I didn't record. Today's Saturday. Keep in mind. I didn't record Friday because of this. I told him, all right, Fridays I can record. And then that was the plan. We were going to record together on Friday. We were going to record Friday, yesterday. And so Thursday, 2 days ago, I texted this fool. I said, hey, you down to record for tomorrow? And then I could show you. Well, I can't show you. But even if I pull it up now, this fool just doesn't, he never responded back. Like, he's a useless. I don't know. I can't stand when people don't answer me. It's like I spoke, words came out, noise escaped my mouth, and I know you heard it. So respond, you know? That's one of my biggest pet peeves in people. Because I don't know what happened on the other end. You could be dead for all I know. But I know he wasn't dead because then he got online on PS4. He was online later that day, later that night, and Friday. And I didn't record, and so I didn't end up recording Friday because he never responded back, and I didn't want to leave him out of the recording. So here we are today, Saturday. I gave him a whole day, so I was like, "Fuck it," and I woke up and I just started recording. So I hate when people don't respond back. It's a big pet peeve. Like, if you don't respond back, tell me that you died. You know, I better be seeing your obituary somewhere because otherwise I feel disrespected in some way, shape, or form. I never like to leave a conversation open-ended. I like for it to be ended. Like, no one wants their conversation open. That's just like if you walked up to your friend and were like, "Hey man, you want to go to the park?" And then your friend just walks away. Or something stupid like that. It's just it it leaves, or it's like, why do all this? Why do all the planning? But that's just me being a bitch and ranting for a bit. Because we need to complain about other things other than Corona, you know? I think it's healthy to be able to complain about the things, the minimal the things that we used to complain about. Like, before Corona, I'd be complaining about Daddy Dark all day. Because anybody that knows us outside of the podcast, everybody knows we're a married couple. It's fine. But that was my latest thing with him. So I'm recording this on my own. Hopefully, and I really hope the next one I can get someone. 6-1 has been, I don't know, he's dead. I don't know where 6-1 is. I messaged him a long time ago, way back in March, because me and Daddy Dark were thinking about. Way back in March, we had the idea when this whole quarantine, like, we could still do it through Discord. And I messaged 6-1 to see if he's still. And he didn't respond back either. So I don't know. I'm starting to think everybody that I once knew in this world was just a figment of my imagination. And that's really the only way to look at it after a certain point, when so many people just don't answer your questions, It's like, just answer the question. That's it. But it's all good. Life keeps moving because, hey, I'm recording this episode, aren't I? I didn't get you. Even if you don't answer, I still move forward. So, eat a dick. But anyway, I've been doing some fun stuff, right? Last time, I don't know if I talked about it on the last episode, but I've been rewriting a script for Resident Evil. And by rewriting, like the movie, and by rewriting, I don't mean making it better. I just mean transcribing it. It's a writing exercise. I know if you hate the movie, I don't want to hear about how much people hate the movie. But I'm doing that, and it's fun. And I've been trying to figure out a new story to write, a new script to write, and I'm coming up with ideas. So more to come on that soon. It's too early to talk about, but I just wanted to share that with someone because I've been doing stuff, Like, I'm not just sitting here, like, waiting to get old and crabby and crusty and bleh, The only thing that I can say for myself is that I'm going a little bit crazy. A lot of crazy, I guess. And I didn't realize it until a few nights ago when I had a whole conversation with myself. But not like the normal conversation you have with yourself where it's just like you going over your day-to-day stuff or whatever, but like legit a whole conversation where I was freaking out because I got paid Friday, but this was before I got paid and I had no money and I didn't have a lot of food. So my biggest fear, I was worried that I was going to starve to death before I got paid. So it was starting to get to me one night, and it was like, as I was getting ready for bed, I just kept talking to myself. like freaking out, like kept telling me it's gonna be fine, you're gonna eat, you're gonna live, you're gonna make it out of this, you're gonna survive and all that shit. And it was only in that moment that I realized what it meant to lose your grip, because I thought I was gonna die. But then I didn't, because the next day I went to go get food at the dining commons and it was fine. I realized I should just stop going 5 hours, or basically like my entire day without eating, because I wake up at 11. So 5 hours, is obviously a huge amount of the day when it starts at 11, because you do 11 minus 5, right? Because that's 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's basically going until 4 p.m. without eating, right? So it's like, yeah, anybody who does that is gonna think they're dying. So long story short, if you're self quarantining alone, make sure you eat something. Remind yourself to eat at least twice a day. Because you will notice. And I like it's the what's the hypoglycemia. Hypoglycemia is a real thing, and you can become hypoglycemic very fast if you are not careful. I think, like, if I didn't get paid Friday and I kept going with the pattern I was going, which is like eating like once, and that's like once very far into the day, like you will become hypoglycemic. And it's not fun. Like your hands will get all shaky. You won't feel great. And it won't be fun. Like, you won't be having a good time. I was not having a good time for a lot of that experience. But the minute you eat, and that's the thing, I had food. It's just sometimes the food here is just not great. Like, it's legit. It was getting to a point to where I was looking at the food I was eating, and I was like, this is some sick joke on prison. Like, I'm legit in prison. This is prison food. I'm in a prison cell, and I'm doing time. That's the way I looked at it. Like, I am in jail. I am in prison for something, and this food is as good as it gets for me. Because it was just the food I got at our DC that day, and it was so bad because the chicken was like legit so dry. Like, I couldn't swallow it because it was so dry. It would get stuck in my throat, like, so bad. And it was so sad. I was looking at this and I was like, no way are you people legit serving this to us as food. Like, you serious? It was ridiculous. But here I am, a new man, at payday pass in the past. I can buy food now. I can buy edible food now. And I can live. That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. And that's what I'm most grateful for. I don't know what's going to happen when this shit's all over too. I don't know who I'm going to be most excited to see. What I'm going to be most excited to do. That's going to be the weird thing. Imagine, when this is all over, what is the first thing you're going to want to do, Because it's like, will the first thing you want to do be outside related? I don't know. Like, maybe I don't know. I think I'd really just want to hang out with my friends. Like, I forget how much of that was a part of my life. That when it's not there, it's really not there, Like, because I was like, when I think about it, that makes sense. When I'm here, because I'm here on campus, right? Like, if I'm not outside of work and classes, all you really got are your friends. And I got paid leave right now, and I don't really have classes right now, and I don't have friends. So all I have is my me time. And my me time is dope, but eventually you get tired of the me time, So I don't know. We'll see. Worst case, I go crazy. Worst case. Here's the cool thing though. the really cool thing, well, I mean, at least for me, I think it's cool. Maybe everybody won't really think, people won't really think, but my hair is holding up. Like that was the biggest fear. I was like, with this whole quarantine going on, I can't get a haircut, meaning my hair is gonna look ridiculous. Um, but luckily, I'm a smart cookie. Because a while back, right, I got texturizer. I put it in my hair to loosen up the curls and like relax it a little bit. And at first, I didn't know what I was doing with it. You know, like, cause one, I don't do my hair like that. Like, I don't prep my, I don't do all that work. I get it cut, and then if I'm doing the waves, I'm doing the waves. But for the most part, that's really as far as it go. You know. So I did the whole texturizer thing, and I was like, okay, I did that part, and it worked. You know, my hair was wavy and curly, and then I can comb it back and all this other stuff. And I was like, okay, now what? You know, like I don't know how to style it after that. So my hair was just kind of a messy mess. And so I'd be wearing my do-rag and all that. And then it wasn't until this morning. This morning, something significantly changed, and I was such an idiot because I've been trying to make my hair like a certain way. Like I wanted my hair to be a certain way, but that's just not the way my hair is. My hair is curly, and that's fine. But with the texturizer in it now, like, you know, my hair is now texturized or whatever. So it's not going to be the same nappy type of curly. It's nice. It's an afro curly now. So now, like, now I can comb my hair a lot easier, and it'll be a nice little ball at the top. Nice little puff. So I have a nice little mini afro, which a lot of people in the past pre-corona was like, you should grow your hair out, you should get an afro, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, because I don't like the way it feels. I didn't want that hairstyle, and I'm like, I don't really like my hair growing out that much. So I guess everybody in the end got what they wanted because I have a mini afro now, which I it is what it is. Yeah, I can't fight it anymore. I haven't gotten my haircut since February, so yeah, I have a mini afro, and it's not the worst thing in the world. If anything, the only thing I would benefit from a barber at this point is just like, you know, getting it all styled up and touched up and looking sharp. But my hair looks fine now. Is the point? Like my hair was looking a mess for the past month. I'm not gonna even lie. It was really looking like it was a lot. But I think I got it where it should be. It's an ideal place now, and we will all be happy that I did what I did. But it's all good. So there's that. But geez, it's already been, we got like 10 minutes left. 40, well, because I'm at 48. Geez. Where does the time go these days, dude? Let me see. What else do I even have anything else I personally want to even get into? Like I said, I kind of just woke up and just started doing this stuff. I need another. I don't know. I'm one topic too short, but I'm not gonna end it here because that'd be rude. Uh, let's see. I'm trying to make sure I pass all my freaking classes too, because this whole Zoom shit it's fine. Honestly, it's fine. Like, there's really no complaining about it at this point. It's really easy. Uh, you just sign on. You just literally click the link because, well, unless your teacher is being an asshole and they don't put the link in their iLearn or in a Google Invite or whatever to their little Zoom thing, it's really not that tough. It's like you go on, don't unmute your mic if you're obviously not in a position to be unmuted. Don't put your video on if you're obviously not ready to be presented into a group, you know? But Zoom is fine. Like, I've been using it for classes, for meetings, and it's fine. Like, you just do it. At this point, I guess that's really where we're at. Huh? You just do it. And I guess we've always been at that point where the mentality is you just do it. Like, even pre-coronavirus, but it was just a little different. Like when you think of, like you wake up and you go to classes right pre-corona and you're like, you just do it because you got to get an education and you want to get the career you want, so you do it. You go to work and it may not be the best job, but you do it because you get paid, you know? And we're still in that mentality. It's just a little different. Instead of getting up and leaving your house to go to work and classes and you're signing on to Zoom. You just do it. And it's really nothing to be angry about or stressed about because in all honesty, this is probably the easiest way to pass anything. Like you're in the comfort of your own home. Like you can wake up and I don't know. I mean, depending on the class, you don't have to show your face, right? So you can wake up looking a hot damn mess, and all you got to do is talk once, maybe, if that at all. You can probably go the whole class without saying a damn thing, like normal. Like I can, if I wanted to, I could keep my mic and my video on mute and watch a whole show at the end of the day. At the end of the day. Unfortunately, that's not the way it goes for me because I'm trying to make sure I pay attention as much as I can in these times, especially in the classes I wasn't doing great in to begin with, to make sure I don't fail them, you know. But you just do it at the end of the day. You stay home and you do it. This is the greatest March or fall, whatever. 2020, the year 2020 is the year of discipline. Right? That's the way you have to look at it. It's the year of discipline. We all being tested in some freaking way, shape, or form. Like, that's the funny thing. Because it just seems like this thing came around when everybody, like, had something going on that this would interrupt significantly. You know? But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Like, I can't even be mad at the people that ate bats or that however this got spread, you know, I don't know. Like, because they say someone ate bats, right? But that doesn't really tell you how it spread. So they ate bats and then boom, Corona was just here. I don't know. But either way, I'm not even mad at that person, you know? Because that's just like, this could have happened to anybody, right? This could have happened to anybody. I could have eaten an apple and gotten Corona 5.7, you know? Like, all because I wanted to be healthy one day. And you can't be mad at that person. I mean, eating bats, sure, have a burger next time. But, it's here. It's here. We're dealing with it. And we just got to get through it. There's nothing more to it than that. I think a lot of new adjustments are going to be made. People were worried about the fall semester and what that's going to be like, you know, if there's even going to be a fall semester, because the reality is we are in this shit now, right? And even if there is a vaccine, a cure, or whatever, that it's going to take time for that shit to be made, and it won't be made in the next 2 months or so. So, you know, this is definitely going to dip into the fall semester, and I don't know what that's going to look like, whether we'll even have a fall semester, at least campus-wise, you know, like, physically, a camp. And to me, that shit would suck. Like, imagine, like, okay, I'm a third year, but imagine being a freshman and then not even getting to go to college. Or imagine graduating high school and then not even getting the option to go to college, you know? Like that sucks so much. That there are so many people that got screwed over with this, like, not just, I mean, adults, teenagers, young adult, like, it's crazy. And it's crazy because it didn't even have to be Corona that did this. Literally any disease that reached pandemic level would have done this. And that's crazy to me. I don't know. So many things we are living in a really unseen experience. I don't know if it was like this back when the bubonic hit, but damn, you know? Like we are living in history. Even more so than what we were already living, like with the whole, you know, president and school shootings and police, like like we forget all that stuff. Like we forget what like I remember when the biggest thing was Sandy Hook, was it? I think it was Sandy Hook High School or the shootings, like a lot of school shootings. Like, I remember when that was the biggest thing. But now we're living in a different. We're just living in a different event. And I'm thinking about something my teacher told us. My film teacher, it was a film history class, and it was on the first day of class. He showed us something. He puts a bunch of dates. He put like 3 or 4 dates on the board, right? And then he was like, "This is someone's entire life," and he put 3 dates, but they were 3 major dates in history, you know. And he was like, "There is someone out there that lived through this date, and this date," and they were such gaps in time. Like I think it was from like 1910, right, and then one was in like 1920 and then another one was in like 1940 and then 60, and it was like he was like there's someone who's experienced all of these events, these events happened in one person's lifetime. And I was like, that's hella true. Like, think about when you really think about how long a person lives and how much shit happens when you're alive. That's crazy. Like, people that lived from the 1920s to the 90s, holy shit. You know? Or from 1910 to 1990, that's possible. That means that person is only 90 years old or was only 90 years old. And there are people that live to be 100. Like, it's really mind blowing the more you think about it, because imagine I was born in 1999, right? So I don't even know what the first major event in my personal experience has been. Maybe 9/11, I would say. But I wasn't even old enough to really comprehend that was happening, right? Like, I was only, when 9/11 happened, that was in 2001, right? I don't know. Either way, I was very much a newborn baby. I was very much between the ages of 0 and 1, or 1 and 2. Not old enough to be able to even react, right? And then as you go on, we get all, and I didn't pay attention growing up to what event. I'm sure there was a recession in 2008. I never knew. I didn't know about that because I was 8 or 9, depending on the month. And then you go to, like, all this other craziness. It's just the past 10 years have been insane. Just the past 10 years alone have been insane. And I'm only 20 years old. I still have at least another 50 years. God willing, I have another 50 years. This shit's crazy. Who knows what's gonna happen, man? Who knows what type of world we're gonna be living in? But all I gotta say in that regard, though, is like, if we don't, given that we don't know how, well, yeah, given that we don't know how things are gonna turn out, it kind of makes you more appreciative and more grateful for what's in front of you, at least in that day. Like today, I'm gonna be grateful for everything I got. Like, I have tea. I have this amazing fucking tea. I'm so grateful for that shit. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm still here on campus. A lot of students have been bitching and complaining about this shit, and I'm grateful for it. Like, you know, should I be home with family? Most likely, most definitely. I'm here to help as an RA, and I'm here because honestly, I don't want to try and travel through 3 different cities at this point. Um, I'd have to go from Monterey to Oakland. I'm not trying to do all that because I don't. It's already hard enough for me to move from one dorm to the next because I don't have a car, and my family, our vehicles are not always the best, so it's unreliable. So I'm chilling here. I'm grateful that the school is staying open to house students that have nowhere to go. I'm grateful that they're giving us food. There's so many things that I think this experience is gonna make so many people grateful for that it's gonna be, I don't know. it's honestly gonna make. Hopefully, it'll make the world a lot more positive at the end of this. You know, like hopefully, and I don't know in what aspect, because I don't think it'll make the world more positive in the fact that everybody will just be better people. No, I think it'll just make us appreciate a little bit more. Like, and here's an extreme example. I would say, like, let's say someone who never gives people hugs or is not comfortable with physical touch or whatever, like that. Maybe this would make that person want those things more because of the fact that they can't even get that now. You know, like you take things for granted that you once were able to do so freely, so willingly, and you really can't do those things. Like I went over to a dispensary and my friend who works there now, she was there and she was like, she said, "I miss you. I really wish I could hug you," And then she said it again. She was like, I'm serious. I really do wish I could." And I was like, "That's crazy because you really can't." Like we are in such a barrier with each other. It is legit isolation. Solitary confinement on a, what's the word? Not a fancy scale, but this is like masterful solitary confinement. It's elegant and it's strategic. I don't know. I don't know, the longer this shit goes on, the more I'm starting to think this all was planned. Just because of the events, old people getting sick, things shutting down the way they are. Now Black and Latinos are more susceptible to coronavirus, bro. Like, what's next? So I don't know, but I'm gonna probably stop it here, because I don't really have anything else, and I kind of want to finish my tea. So, and that's yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it though. So, I guess tune in next time so that maybe there'll be more people. Maybe there will be more people. I mean, more people. Maybe Daddy Dark and 6'1". I don't know. 6'1" has always been a deer in the headlight. You never know with 6'1". For all I know, he probably was an imagination I conjured up. But you all heard him, so he's real. But tune in next time, and we'll see where we're at. Who knows? Honestly, maybe we'll be talking about I'll be talking about the same shit. Maybe we'll be getting ready for a meteor attack. I don't know, honestly. But as long as I have a mic, my laptop, and software, I'll be doing this shit until I guess I can't. So that's it. I'll see y'all in the coming days.